face off. We're gonna talk your face off. We're gonna talk your face off. Talk your face off. To talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off. Talk your face off.
Hey, I was trying to talk while I was off screen, but it wouldn't let me. What's going on, you guys? Welcome to Talk Your Face Off -1. And it's going to be a short night because I'm not feeling great. Pablo told me that he had something going on, couldn't be here tonight. And I was probably going to text him and say the same thing. But I thought, you know what? Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show him up and show that, you know what? We can start on time. And by golly, we can start early if we want. Like, so we started early by about a minute. Thankfully, he scheduled the start time to 10:05 because I thought I was actually late. And so I thought, you know what? Now I'm just going to, since he saved me, I'm going to throw him under the bus and show everybody that I can be early. Anyway, oh my gosh, RC Master. My son was working on a programming a keyboard, and it had this arpeggiator thing going on, and it was so like trancey. Not trance. I started singing a song about unicorns with glitter, that fart glitter and belch bedazzles and stuff. Anyway. So that was only about, maybe it's the medicine from not feeling well, or maybe just the headache from not feeling well, but yeah, maybe that's it. But so tonight, a couple things to talk about. I don't have a ton, and again, I don't feel great. I actually look back, I thought my eyes were going to be look like I got in a super fight or something, because they feel kind of closed up, but they're not too bad, I guess. Rocking the Proline hat. Proline's got some cool stuff going on right now. And, you know, so much with the news these days. Harley, thank you for bringing us the news, continuing to bring us the news. So the news here is, the secret is, since Pablo's not here to make fun of me and my whole tire escapade I had last time with these, when I was trying to mount up these like cheater wheels on the cheater VRD. Well, here's what happened. So I went to the comp. So Thursday night is comp night. It's kind of like easy comp night, I would say, at Reaction. There's no like league, or not even league. It's not like a point series or anything. You just come, you run and done kind of a thing. Like whatever you get that night, brag about it, because next week it's all for the glory of that night again. Like you're not adding up points or doing anything like that. So it's not necessarily easier. It's not a part of a series where you're going to get any big trophies. Anywho, I had some issues with I'd planned a whole mini video last week, and I did a whole intro, and I talked about my cars that I run. I have video talking about the VRD, talking about the Hard Park, V-Dub, talking about my Creep. My favorite little mini truck that I have is the Creep still. It's running the carbon fiber Furatech Scythe chassis from way back when, early Furatech days. It's still one of my favorite rigs, just because I know it. Although I don't feel like I know it anymore. I feel like it's, you know, it's one of those friends I haven't seen in 2 years, kind of, because I put the Mias axles on, and it's not the same. It's just, there's some benefits and there's some annoyances with having that much steering and the wider axles and some other stuff. So anyway, it just feels like it feels foreign to me. It doesn't feel like my best friend truck anymore. So I'm getting over that. We had a mutiny, David. What's up with that? RC Jeep guy. What's going on? Oh, everybody, you're over. Yeah, only a few of you are over on Pablo's side. Come on now, we need more than that. Did it hit all of them? It looks like it hit them all. How many light bulbs do we have left? All right, so anyway, here's the secret. I had a blast running 10 scale at the comp the other day. So I said I couldn't ever get into 10 scale comps. And I kind of did. I kind of liked it a little. So that happened. But tell you a little bit about the night. So that video that I was trying to run is actually 2 weeks ago, because last week I did get to run the creep. So it's 2 weeks ago I shot this video. Intro, like I was going to be going to the comp. Here are the trucks I've got, and I couldn't run. I couldn't film the VRD because it was not set up in a way that I could film it and run it. And I filmed some of the V-dub, which I did really well with, but the creep wouldn't run. Like it just, I put it in and I'd have to like push it or spin the motor in order to get it working. I don't know what was going on. I was freaking out. Wouldn't run, so I ran one of my other trucks that I didn't talk about. So that whole video just went in the trash can. All that time I'd spent. So you never saw the video because I didn't make it. But I got another. What are they running in? The Ultimate, the Python Pro. And man, all I did was basically unplug the receiver and plug it back in, and it was working again. So I think I just had wires kind of crimped, and I was looking at it like, man, it kind of looks janky how I have it set up in there. And so I just kind of pulled the wires, kind of reset it all and put it back in, and ran perfect. So it actually ran great that night too. No, but I have some chapstick right here from RPP Hobby. And actually I also have some Axial chapstick right here as well. So if we need chapstick, we do have it. I can't remember. I said one of them tastes better than the other. I think it was the Axial I liked better. Anyway, so if you're looking for a new chapstick brand, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so yeah, it did terrible. Got it working again, ran it, and I broke something else. I don't remember what I broke. Travis, what did I break? I broke something. I see Travis is in here. Oh boy. What did it's a Vanquish VRD, isn't that what it is? What was it? Something broke. I was gonna have to fix, and I haven't taken care of it yet. It was limping along. Oh, the transmission was clicking. So it's just clicking in the transmission. So I was out of luck with that. I couldn't get the when it would get a little bit stuck or bound up. It was just, so I just started, after I hit the first 5 gates out of the gate, I just was like, you know what, this is not going to be a winching one. We're just going to just go for it on every one. And then it started clicking and stuff. I scored over 200, which is a very high. It was not an easy course. A lot of people were in the 80s plus, except for Dana, who was still under 50, I think, with all of his. But I did break my spirits, David. You're right. It really did break my spirits. But I do need to put a new transmission in it. I sell the steel transmission gears. I have 2 different options for those, so that's not going to be an issue. I'm pretty sure I know which gear it is on there. I've broken before. So, yeah, 200 scale points. That's what I needed, because that would put me in the. I would have only had like 4 points in. I had like 204. I had something stupid. I had the highest score of the night. So we'll just, I think. I did terrible. And then they were asking if I wanted to run my 4-steer one. I'm like, not a chance. Like, it was not an easy course, and it's gonna be a bad score, and I'm not gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna jump over and do the 10 scale. And I did freaking awesome on my 10th scale. I'm just gonna say it. Nathan wasn't there to see it, but I thought that the low score in my quick look, which you should never do, you should never look at the score sheet, but I always do. all throughout the night. I don't know why I keep looking at it. But I looked at it and I thought that the low score was an 8. So, and it was a longer course. They were all kind of commenting on how they put more gates out than normal. So it's still a lot less than we do for 24 scale, but they do less gates, I guess. They like low scores for the 10 scale or something, maybe. I don't know. But they do maybe 12 to 16 gates, something like that, Nathan. You can tell me. And normally we do like 30 gates total, like 2 courses. We set up 2 different courses and they're both about 16. So somewhere in that 30, 32 range is about normal. And Travis helped me, man. He helped me kick butt. I was not as helpful kick butt, even off of the first gate for him. But one, he built the truck and made it awesome. And then 2, he was an awesome winch man for me. So I had 3 winches, which totaled up to 6 points. That was my score. No gates, no reverses, and I probably didn't need the last one. It was kind of a safety because I didn't want to go over that 8. If I was at 4 and I hit the gate, I'd be at 14. So I was just like, let's just do the winch. Let's play it safe. And that's why you don't look at the score sheet, because I thought that I had points to give. And I should have just gone for it. Although I guess I would have been off the podium if I did end up hitting the gate. But yeah, so I got back there and he said, "Hey, that's a great score. That should put you in second." I'm like, "What? Where?" And then he like, it was kind of buried in there, a 4, and I'm like, "Dang it!" So no, but I ended up getting 3rd place ribbon, so I have a photo. But we tied for 2nd, and I think because I did so bad in 24 scale that Jeff just was like, "You know what? You don't deserve a 2nd place this week, even though you're tied or not. You don't get a chance. You're taking 3rd." So, yeah, I kind of felt like that swimmer girl that, like, even though they tied, she didn't get a trophy, and she didn't, Leah Thomas and the other girl. Anyway, so, but I gotta say, the VRD has changed my whole perspective on even thinking about doing comp stuff with the 10 scale, because there was not such an easy entry way into it. Like, everybody that was doing well was like fully custom stuff and like aftermarket to the whatever nth degree, with the garage hack chassis, or I don't know, even G Speed and all those guys that make all the aftermarket stuff, and they're just like killing it. So yeah, I mean, that thing just, and I also have just said that my 24 scales just handle so good for their size, and they're predictable in a good way, in the way that they also handle. And I've never been able to get that with my 10 scale ones, even the ones I have tried after marketing and whatever, like the Element that I have, which actually, when Travis and I took it, I still have to do that video to Walter RC Park, which we're heading to this weekend because they're having a crawler event this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. For anybody that's local-ish, go to the Walter RC Park page. You can check it out. I can't remember the name of the event. Something crawl. But they've got a spring kind of opening up the fun. So what's going on, Jeremy? Eddie's RC Master. People go crazy upgrading. Yes, and there's a lot of people here in the fields and trades that know how to custom, and they work at places where they can mill their own stuff and cut out their own stuff and design their own stuff. This, Michigan is just a place where people, love off-road. We get like so many people comment on the videos like, "Oh, for people that can't afford the real 1-to-1." I'm like, dude, all these guys pretty much do the 1-to-1 as well. Like, This is just having fun, you know. They just love it. So, but yeah, they custom so many things up here. It's crazy. Way more than what I was dealing with Virginia. Yeah, lots of CNC shops here. Lots of guys that work at them know how to work the machines, know how to design the stuff, and make killer rigs. Like I came here and saw the crawling stuff. I'm like, dang, these guys are like super competitive. So, but yeah. David Ferris, full transparency, I don't comp. I'm considering getting VRD carbon just because I like VP and building kits. Don't really plan to comp it. And you don't even need to. It just runs over everything in such cool ways. Yeah, it's pretty slick. Hey, maybe there's a transmission I can use right here, Travis. Ta-da! Bam! Just take off this part for the yeah, I could take off this part for the mini Komodo. That would work. What's up, Bootstrap PV? Lots of 3D printers as well. Yeah. Yeah, Nathan's working on a bunch of his own stuff and customizing his junk too. Sugar Bush Spring Crawl. Travis, thank you. Tanker T68, what is up? So I've got time and sometime. I'm not going to go super late because of the whole not feeling well thing. But if there's any comments, questions you guys have that you want to leave or topics you want to talk about and just get started, drop some stuff in the chat. Okay, so David, problem with Michigan though is there's not much terrain wise for one-to-one stuff. Yeah, there's not a lot of like mountains or big stuff in that sense. There's a lot of mud and hill stuff, and then just trails that you can actually run them on and just go off-roading. Like even in Virginia where we had mountains, they didn't have any like designated spaces to do it. Not for Jeeps. There was stuff in the mountains where you could do side-by-sides, dirt bikes, four-wheelers. Like there's a whole trail system actually kind of like Tennessee, Virginia, Carolina, like really awesome ones that I'm blanking on the name of right now. Spearhead Trail Systems. There's 3 names, but they all kind of tie into each other. Camping along them, it's amazing. And David's in Utah. So yeah, we got nothing like that. And Mount Brighton is the biggest mountain. I don't know if that's true. There's some stuff UP that's pretty decent, but yeah, especially on the east side, it's pretty flat. It's hilly, like it's a hilly state. It's not mountainous, but what we love about being back here are the rolling hills for sure. Because we had mountains in Virginia, but then we had just flat. Like there wasn't much as in the way of hills and just kind of, I mean, it's awesome. Like looking out our front yard and the hills that just kind of go in the fields, the farm fields that are just hilly. Love it. So the UP is a different state. I think we have 3 states in Michigan. There's West Michigan. There's the other Michigan, like the thumb, and then there's like the UP, right? I will give you that. So Utah, which is a place I've never been and want to go to. In fact, guy that just started working with us was in there, living there for the past year. There's not much like a Michigan summer. So yeah. I thought maybe I just built it up in my head about how awesome it was just because I was a kid and I was like romanticizing it. But having been back, there's just not much like it. And there's so much to do here, from the lakes to the sand dunes to there's just the parks. They actually use the parks around here camping is legit awesome. You know, be in the beach in the day, cools off enough at night to sleep if you want to just tent camp. It's the summers are super special here. Um, Fishing's great, and there is off-roading. There are parts where you can just go on trails up north. In the winter, it's cold, but there's things to do from if you get enough snow. This year's been kind of lame past 2 years, but they've got snow trail systems as well for like snowmobiles and all kinds of stuff too. And normally there's ice fishing and that kind of thing, but it's not been cold enough. So it's weird to complain that it's not cold, but it does kill some of the sporting stuff that we do for winter. But yeah, it's probably a lot like New Hampshire and some of the other. It gets too hot. I feel like if you go a little bit too south, even Ohio gets to be a bit steamy. But yeah. Yeah, it's not just the Great Lakes. There's lakes everywhere. And if there isn't a lake, guess what? They're digging it out because of the sand and rock and all the stuff we have here, and they're making lakes. So like there's just water and water sports and stuff everywhere. Like the people up here, like so in Virginia, I never understood like there weren't all these outdoor shops like for boating and whatever, even though we're on like the ocean. But you come into Michigan, and the first signs that you see are for like off-road outdoors places that sell four-wheelers, boats, jet skis, like just outdoor stuff. You know, there's archery shops where you can go and actually like just full on archery and and fishing stuff. It's crazy, but we love it. Anyway, so it's been good to be back. What are your thoughts on? I missed it. I didn't miss it. I saw it. RC Jeep guy, Cersei, all need to come up to Tennessee and Kentucky. We're covered up in trails. Yeah, you guys are. You have a lot of trails and cool stuff and rock bouncing and all kinds of cool stuff. You're kind of in the mountain ranges there still. Hot, humid summers. Little bit different summertime than we have up here. And I wanted to move to Tennessee. That was a place, or Kentucky. My wife's family's in Owensboro area, so we used to go there quite a bit. What are your thoughts on Cape Crawlers, the YouTube channel? I think he seems like a cool dude. He is very thorough in his videos, very descriptive in his videos. Yeah, very. I mean, it's very thought out. Compared to mine, where it's just like, hey, let's just open this up and see what we got. We're gonna go for it. Which, I mean, his growth has been astronomically faster than most YouTube channels because of that. So works well too. He's got a young boy. They have fun doing RCs. They're having a blast, and people are watching, and it's doing awesome, man. So yeah, I think he's a cool dude. I dig his stuff. Early on, I'll say he was really into the flex game, like with his trucks, and you know, it got a lot of attention. The pictures of like the Jeep where it's like completely straight up and down, twisted, which was amazing for the pictures and videos and all that. I saw he went to some different events or whatever, and you can just crawl through stuff with it and do dropout and make good video with that. But it's tough to compete with that much. And we see it happen all the time where guys build trucks like that, and then they show up at our comps and they do terrible, absolutely terrible, and seem confused by it, because I think everybody was under the impression that all that flex was a good thing and something to like shoot after and mod your trucks out after. But it actually, it makes it really like, if you have to do certain lines and you can't just take the way that the truck wants to go or isn't going to tip over and just make lines and follow it, you find out very quickly how poorly they actually do perform. But that's not like a negative on him or what he's doing or any of that. I'm just saying, like, we saw that and people building some of that stuff and they were actually confused as to why it didn't perform well, because it seems to, like, when you're just going over rocks and it's dropping in and catching traction, but the second you have to climb a hill or do things that you can't bail out of and turn out of, gets tough. But yeah, Adam, cool dude. Mountains aren't disappearing. Mountains aren't disappearing because, that's funny, because the water level is rising. They're just getting smaller because people are building crawler courses and tearing them up. Did you guys see what happened with those people pushing the rocks off? It was in Utah, I think. It's crazy. I saw another question I missed. Do I figure out what trucks I'm going to bring Saturday? Well, I'm going to bring trucks I didn't run last time. Well, that's not true. I'm going to bring the Ecto again because that thing was fun. So the Ecto, which I haven't shown the videos of yet, Travis and I went up and I did the video showing the FMS because that was our first run, and that's the one that I kind of talked about because, well, it's a truck people can get, and so it's just more interesting to a lot of viewers, like to post something that they can just go out and buy if they wanted to. So I thought I'd just do that as separate, and then do a different video showing like the ones that we have that are like custom, that did way better. So not way better, but they did better. And a lot of it just has to do with the body on mine being so tucked that you can get your tires on everything. So, so I'm going to bring the Ecto again, and I'll probably bring the other Vanquish that I didn't run, is my guess. And I'll probably bring as a backup. I may throw these wheels onto my base camp if they'll fit. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see if these will fit. Oh, gosh. Goodness gracious. That is on there. Do I have a different one? That one's coming off easy. Oh, man, these tuck way on there. That would work. May rub a little. I got to see if this other front one will come off. Oh, yeah, it will. Hold on one second. Take this off of here. That could work. So I might bring this as a backup. This thing turned out really cool, by the way. Another of my just spray it and go for it kind of paint jobs. And then I matted the outside of it. I dig it. This has some decent stuff in it too. It's Mighty Chihuahua for the dig, I think, is on this one. Run a Furatech brushless system. Outrunner. Ooh, suspension felt good. So I'll probably bring that as my third. Archery ATVs, firearms are all found in Baltimore City. Yeah, probably wheeling down the streets. Hey, Lyle, what's up, dude? I hope I haven't missed that by too much. You're gone already. Brad Hall, this is a great state. Yes, it is. You guys have Bass Pro Shop in Michigan? Yes. In fact, I was just at one today. We call it Cabela's Bass Pro Shop up here now because of the buyout, but it was, I think, a Cabela's. Now it's a Bass Pro. But yeah, we have a big one too that was in Dundee. The big Cabela's at the time, it was big. But yeah, we have them. In fact, one of them is only 30 minutes from here. So we're, ta-da! I got all of this except. Wait. Let me find it. This one. Oh, Make sure I don't break it though. This one was custom made for me by Mr. USTE himself. Rob Matthews made me this rod right here after they came and fished here. He and Chris from GCM, when they were in town for the gauntlet, came and we went fishing. I took them out fishing twice, which was a good time. I hope they come back and do it again. I promised to find some new fishing holes. You know what? I'm just going to set it down gently so I don't break it, trying to jam it in there. All right. That was the Builder's Kit Base Camp. Yeah, it has the new, was it the dig that they added to them? Yeah, it has dig in it. Turned out awesome. It's running the J Concepts creep body. If you notice a theme here, the creep. Mark Tree. Yeah, I think it fits on this one, on the base camp. But so the thing with the base camp is I don't really need it to be narrow if I'm going to be doing trailing. And so that's why the Ecto, I think, is going to become my like trail rig. And Mark see me run it. It's wide because of the hexes and the wheels. The Spec RC ones is just a wider offset, which does pretty good. It's really stable. Like if you're not trying to kill gates and stuff, and the gates that we run at Gauntlet are super wide, so they're not like it's more to make you go through some tough terrain, and you're not really coming up alongside. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, but you're not usually like close to the gates where you're like potentially hitting them unless you're trying some crazy lines. So for the most part, you can be a wider truck and get away with it at the for just outdoor crawling. Now, if you're at things where you're going to have to go over wires and things that are kind of set to certain widths, that's where you run into tricky bridges, that kind of stuff. It's not super wide. It's just wider than you'd want for comping, which is what I run into. No, David Ferris, I do not do that. I make fun of the peoples that talk about the Myers and the Walmarts and the Home Depots and add S's to everything. I don't think it's a Michigan thing. They were doing it in Virginia quite a bit. I do say ope a lot, and I say no, yeah, or yeah, no. We do that. Yeah, no. You say yeah, but you're going to say no after. So, hey, do you do this? Yeah, no. I don't do that. Or no, yeah, I definitely do that. I don't know why. It's so weird that we do it. And we say roof instead of roof, or like root, like a root, like, but we'd say root note instead of root note for like guitar stuff or bass stuff. Music, up on the rooftop is up on the rooftop. No, when we do it for songs, somehow we get it right, but we call it root beer instead of root beer. Lyle. Let's see if we can. Hey, JMRC, what's up? How much is too much for a top-notch paint job? I think the most I've paid is like $150, somewhere in there. And that was like Dark Side Designs, who, I mean, does a ton of stuff, whether it's painting race bodies or whatever. So I paid more for a custom wrap / build for something, but yeah. Oh, Werner's is the best, David. No, that is one thing that I missed. And people that don't know what Werner's is and they have a Cracker Barrel near them, because Cracker Barrel sells all of like the ginger ales from all over, you can usually get the bottle of it, like a single bottle of it, and pay a lot of money for it. But if you want to try it, it's medicine in Michigan. Like if you have a sore throat, you drink Werner's. Like, or you have an upset stomach, have some Werner's. The fizziness is going to help somehow. because it's like if you try and drink it, especially a can, you crack a can and you go right to it, or you pour it into a cup and go right to it from the can, man, like just the fizz and the it's so strong, it'll like clear your sinuses out, make you cough and choke on it. So it's some cool stuff. But Ale 8, I've had that. That's like a Kentucky thing. That's pretty good too, but it's much smoother than Verner's. Verner's is super strong ginger ale. Yeah, a lot of bite, and people up here love it. And they do one at Christmas, like a cranberry one. It's really good. I'm a not so much kind of guy, but I do say yeah, no, right? Ecto is perfect trail track waiting my IFS2 scratch and sniff to ship. Those look really good. Mine is now set up. Let's see. Do I have? I took video of it. Can I? I can. Let me drop a few. You know what? There. I think I did the. Here, let me see. Nah, I'll drop a few. Oh, you know what I can do? I can screen share to my iCloud and show some of the video from it, what it's looking like right now, because it's very customized. And I did get a custom paint job for that as well. Man, why am I blanking on the guy's name that I got the customized paint from? He's all over Instagram. He started doing a lot of monster truck stuff originally. What's his name? It'll come to me eventually. Is it not gonna? Maybe it won't play the videos. I can download it though, because it's looking pretty good. I can at least do the photo of it. All right, I'm getting some stuff downloading. But I have the, is it Scale Pirates or Rock Pirates? Why did I say? I think I called them Scale Pirates in the video that I did. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't do the video because of the card not working. Rock Pirates stuff on it for the rear end. They've got their little bed thing. It's got scale metal supplies, link risers for the rear, but then the on axle servo mount. It's running the Brass Reefs Raw 500, Spec RC wheels. It's running the 2-in-1 Spectrum system, 1100, 1300. I know there's are different numbers than the Hobby Wing, so I don't remember which one it is. It's a 2-in-1 though, and not the 2300. 1400. So it's that's probably nicer because a lot of them would do 1200 or whatever, and so it's 1400. It's a little bit more wheel speed than the Hobby Wing one was. I just like to go slow anyway, so I put it on 3S plus, which it's now that Pablo's not here, my secret is, and I notice Harley's not here either. I do almost always run 3S in my crawlers, even though I was running 2 in it and then started getting the hard time from them. So I said that I run 2S all the time, but I don't. I usually run 3S in them. I usually run 3S in just about everything that I can, 3S or 4S. So don't tell them though. I missed some stuff. Canada Dry all day. Canada Dry is pretty good too. This is true. How you got to ask yourself how much you're willing to pay. And for people that want to paint, ask how much do they want for their work. Am I going to Beat the Creek? No, and I've never been. Just can't get the time these days. I may try to do it next year. We'll see. I thought about trying to find ways to do it this year. It just can't. But we had somebody new start this week, and so I'm able to get a little bit more flexibility because of that and have coverage for the weekends if I do want to try and get a weekend off, but otherwise I work weekends. So, and even if I do get them off, I get a max of 4 off in a year. So, hey Dave, we were just talking about your sugar bush comp. Yeah, these old flapping lips. If you had an upset stomach, Verner's. Alex might be able to tell you on paint stuff too for the cost, because he does paint a lot of painting. I hear you on that, David. Phased RC, what do you do for work? Well, for the past 15 years, I did video production. And then the last year, I kind of did more RC stuff with the store. And then, yeah, the stuff that happened in April kind of, one, just soured me to a lot of it. Two, it hurt more than expected. So I since moving, I only had so much video work that I've been keeping up. I had a lot of contacts in Virginia for doing a lot of freelance stuff. Being in Michigan didn't make it me as ideal of a candidate to do a lot of those shoots because of travel costs and other things like that involved. So because a lot of mine was related to like the DC area and that as well. So but then I just started doing, when we moved to Michigan, I had a few things that I was doing. Man, something's really dirty on here. Like dust. Probably because I was holding all those tires and then grabbing this and touching it. Anyway, yeah. So that's all to say. I did the RC thing for a little over a year where that was like my primary thing. Couple things that it does is it kind of zaps some of the fun out of the hobby. It's no longer a hobby when it becomes work. And it was for many years just such a good, fun thing to do. So that coupled with the stuff that wasn't fun that happened with it all last year, was just like, let's find something else. And so, yeah. So what do I do for work? Currently, I'm the worship director at our church, but it's actually, I'm moving up to being like kind of creative director over it all, like all of the creative stuff, including the worship director and all that. And so we just hired another guy. So that's the what I've been doing since last October. And so yeah, I work every Saturday and Sunday pretty much. Until summer, I'll get more Saturdays off because we meet in a school, and so we have to set up every week. So Saturday night is set up and practice. Sunday night is church, and then tear down from it all. So, and then I help with the youth group stuff in the evening on Sunday night too. So it's a busy time. It's hard to get off. You get to do it this year. Super stoked. There you go. Not going to bring the truck, but hope to buy something cool. Wait, so you're going to Beat the Creek, but you're not taking a truck with you? Or you're I'm confused. RC athletes, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had to step back after all the stuff with Traxxas went down. And it was very obvious. I stepped back um, from a lot of it and um, just kind of rethought it all, I think, because on top of it, I mean, I was having fun. Like I was having a blast coming up with stuff for the store and doing that. And actually, like I don't mind it. Like the hard work of keeping everything stocked and doing all the mailings and all that stuff. I actually enjoyed it, which is weird to come from like a creative thing where you're getting to edit and like people would die to do it, like videos. And like I got tired of just sitting at a desk all day listening to the same sound bites from people over and over trying to cut together stuff where I could just be over there. I could have music on and be jamming and stuff. Like I was big into music, like played in punk bands, ska bands through 90s, early 2000s, and then always had music, worked maintenance at like a college, or I'll be out on lawnmowers. We just had music jamming, like our CD players skipping every time we hit a big bump. But with video, I really can't do that because there's so much that you're focusing on as you're editing it that you don't want that. It's almost a distraction, or you start cutting it to that music that you're not going to use because it's playing. Anyway, man, it's been fun even just to do what would be considered like, I'm doing the warehouse job, kind of just putting stuff into bags, clamping on, the tags on the top of the cases and, running 3D printers and taking stuff off, changing it, restarting them, that kind of stuff, which is just like, it'd take up hours of the day doing it all. But I enjoyed it. And it was like, it's my thing. I'm having fun with it. But yeah, so I still am doing that. It's because I haven't been doing as much with YouTube. It's not going like gangbusters like it was for a bit. But also because I haven't talked about it a whole lot. I'm not pushing it, not making my own videos about all this stuff anymore. So I'm going to keep doing like the servo stuff I've been doing, keep doing the inserts I've been doing. The send servo mounts still go like crazy. That's just stuff people need or want. And then I'll keep a few of the things that are kind of made for me specifically, and not the stuff that's just a bunch of rebranded whatever that everybody has in Georgia, whoever. So it's just too many SKUs to keep up with other work. But I'll keep some of the stuff people like the diff covers that you can brand them with and things like that, and then the servos because they're a good deal. They work great. And then same with the motor. They're just easy to install, work great. I mean, they make the SCX24 so much better. I keep telling them if they just put them in, they get rid of a product I need or that I sell. But man, it'd make it so much better for every person that buys it to have that bigger can in there and not a huge cost upgrade for them. But so if that happens, we'll stop selling those. But yeah. Was that really a year ago? Yeah, it was sometime like March. I don't know, whenever the TRX4M came out. Oh, that's a good idea. So you're flying in. That's a cool idea, dude. And make it fun. Just do the trails with something new. And just ready to run on the box feel. That's super cool. Or used from somebody if you find a cool truck that's already like I sold my SCX 10.3 at Axial Fest. Somebody had their kids had them and they were sharing whatever, and they ended up buying. I let them run it, and then they ended up buying it. They just happened to be camped next to us. Yeah. Cape Cod, I'd rather not do this anymore. Yeah, landscape be tough during the winters, I'm sure. So yeah, I mean, it's not all bad. It's not a terrible place to be for it to be a career, like to get to play with toys. I would have liked to have done it in a different direction than it was going to. I don't mind the store side. Like I would do that probably over the unboxing something new every week kind of thing, which a lot of people would love to do. But it's seriously like after you've done it for 5 years, it gets old. It gets, and you don't need all this stuff. So just becomes clutter. Going to try and make it to Badlands. Badlands is on my calendar. Don't have a campsite yet, but my buddy Travis is going. And I could always split up with them and camp, bring a tent, be happy as a clam. I love so certain things. It's funny how it is. Like we had an RV, right? We have an RV, and I'm all like, let's sell it. Like I am loving the tent camping thing. I'd rather pull up out of my truck and do, it's easier to pack in my truck, easier to work on stuff out of my truck. The camper's just tough with the way you put things in the bins, and they're just weird shaping and all that. Up here at Gauntlet, I didn't even take the RV last time. We took a tent. So, at ease, I will let you know for sure. Got great truck bed tent setups now. Yeah, I don't want to get my trucks to the point where I can't drive it around though. So I don't mind if I throw a mattress down. Like our tent pops up in like a minute, and it's like double wide. It's big and tears down real easy. So, and we don't. When you're at these events, you don't even go in them ever. Like, so it's part of the experiences. You're just out hanging out with people. They've got great showers there, so I just use their showers in their bathhouses anyway, so I didn't have to deal with ours. Only nice thing was air conditioning, which I'm not gonna lie wasn't bad to have had. Some of those days get really hot out there, and you get pretty sunburned. But yeah, what's going on, Gary? Foundry RC, dude. What is up, man? I should have tenant camped at Gauntlet last year. Yeah, I hear you, and I'm close enough. I could just drive, but it's the hangout time that's so good at the Gauntlet. So we were up till JMRC's. What time did we go to bed? Like 2 or 3 in the morning. The rest of my crew had already crashed, and I'm over there hanging out with Joe and John Martin till wee hours of the morning, man. That's good for you, Lal. I love it. I should get my specs on too. I found my glasses again. Axial 32, are you planning to go down to Badlands? We've always gone down as a family, but I don't know this year if we're going to or not. We're getting the camper out in June earlier than that, so maybe I'll just drive it down. The bummer was last time I drove it down and my family drove down separate in the truck, so we'd have a vehicle to drive. Because once I get there, I don't have a tow vehicle anymore since our move to Michigan killed my Jeep. So Racing K7, I think I left at 12 or 1 and you guys were still running on the trailer. Yeah, we ran the trailer till 1 or 2, and then I went over and hung out with John Martin and Joe, and was somebody else still going at that time with them? I don't know. I know there was a hard park, like hard cased, like whole setup that they had there too. Pablo is at a school conference thingy or whatever. I'm not sure exactly. He had a bunch of stuff to talk about too. His kids were killing it at the racetrack. But since he wasn't here, I wanted to talk about a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't say in front of him, like that I liked 10 scale comping, and there was something else I can't remember now. Bobby Laurenti, no more monster truck videos. Haven't done any in a while, man. There's going to be some coming up in May. So it's just not a scene here, although there's a couple people that have been talking about it. So I'm hoping to do more with it, but it's just not a thing that's happening here. Everybody crawls here. So I'm kind of doing what everybody here does and hanging out with them. That's what I like about RC. A lot of people did the monster trucks and hung out over it. So I've still got them. I've got my stuff ready. Going to Monster Jam World Finals in LA next month. So going to be lots of coverage from the monster trucks there. So, but yeah, that's the reason. We actually were just running. We had kids over from church group, and we had a bunch of stuff running out there when we broke the head off of the motorcycle rider. The Losi MX had its head ripped off, which I ordered a new one. It just came in the mail the other day. My affinity for 3S. Oh, that was it. We did talk about that. I actually do use mainly 3S batteries. That's funny. Yeah, because even when I went out with Travis to the park, all I had were 3S battery packs in all of them. I have a bunch of the shorty pack, race pack ones, and like 1300 ones that I can use for them. I just didn't have any charge the day that I ran the bug. And so, yeah. How long am I going to be in LA? I'm going to be there, I think, Thursday through Sunday-ish. I think that's when my flights are, flying in and out. Could be, I don't know where I'm staying actually yet. I got to find that out. But it's at SoFi Stadium, so wherever that is. I'll admit that I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants on a lot of travel stuff. I know. I miss Dirk too, Lyle. Man, I miss a bunch of those hangouts we used to have. Maybe this summer we'll get him going again. But yeah, so I'll be in LA for a little bit. Not long. But going to be watching monster trucks. Speaking of monster trucks. Nice. Got an LMT TLR kit. That's awesome. What was it? Oh my gosh. Instagram. I'll go to that on Monster Jam. The Monster Jam page. Great Clips Warrior Man went flying through the air. I don't know if anybody saw it in my reel. It was insane. That's all I can say. I'm going to show it here. So spoiler alert. It's got to be one of the biggest errors. It's close to Todd LeDuc air. It's right here in the air. You can see the height, the magnitude that he hit on this. Absolutely insane. That is a 12,000 pound machine doing that. Unreal. Son of a digger. So glad I'll be taller than Warrior Bryce now. That's going to compress a few discs, I think. Yeah, Kevin Talbot trying to figure out what the estimated height was. I love all the truck drivers' reactions to this because they know that is just insane. I mean, I'll just leave that on replay for a hot minute here. Gosh, full send. I don't know how the axles did not just obliterate. That rear one especially should have just, the way that the front, it snaps it down. Watch the rear end. Bam! That suspension must be, we can see it work. It's insane. Still got quite a pop off it though. Whew. Oh my goodness. That's got to be like the jump of the year award. That's something else. Somebody had a video, Monster Truck Lord. Monster. I think comparing. It wasn't him. But it was comparing Todd LeDuc's jump. Let me try Monster. Not Monster Truck Daily. All-Star Monster. He has like a huge. Why can't I think of his name? He has a huge Monster Jam channel. I thought it was. I thought it was him. He has a huge channel. That doesn't look like him though. But he did a comparison between the two, the LeDuc one and because he had that shot from yeah. Anyway, I can't think of who it is. Maybe one of you guys saying. All right. Well, enough of that. I'm actually going to look it up. See if I can pull up who it is. Monster. So Monster Truck Lord is the person I'm thinking of on YouTube. So that's weird. Anyway, the Mohawk Warrior compared to the Monster or the Mutant Energy one from Todd LeDuc. Scroll down to see that SBG Volvo body, right? I already zoomed off of that page. Let me see if I can pull it back up. Back. Well, I'm not seeing it. Scale builders. Oh, yeah, this thing looks sick. All right. For you. Turned out awesome. Not something I would do, but pretty cool. I do want to see somebody do something with the Aerostar, though. That's for sure. And, I mean, it was pretty fun to watch Harley say how much he liked that from a J Concepts body. Oh, the carbon fiber one? Oh, okay, I did see that too. This one. He's on his Volvo kick. That turned out really rad, though. Not gonna lie. Yeah, cool for 18 scale for sure. There's a person just around the corner from me that has an Astro van that I want so bad. Like, I just want to go up and knock on their door and see if they'll sell it to me. And maybe you've seen an Axial 32. It's on 68th Street, just past Leonard. There's this kind of quirky house on the right. And it usually has a neon. I think it's a Dodge Neon, and then the Astro van looks amazing. It's like a blue. It's Chevy Astro. See if there's a picture of something that's very similar to it. I mean, it's kind of like that. Here. It's kind of like, it's old. It's kind of like this ish, not that old. Kind of maybe in this. Headlights aren't quite that nice. Still an older style headlight on it. It's pretty rad for a little minivan. Old school before the transport started the whole, futuristic, long aerodynamic nose that we see on all these vans now. Yep. Aerostar was, yeah. Double A Day just sent me a video. Let's see what it is. Messages. Oh, this is a video. It is Monster Truck Lord. Okay, I was right, but I didn't see it. That's the video. All right, so top is Leduc. Look at when they hit. It's about the same amount of air because of takeoff to landing is about the same time from the hit. I would say you can't judge it by that, but man, it's so close. And the angle doesn't help because being a lower angle, the upper video just looks like it went so much higher. But that's the whole thing you get with the GoPro wide angle lens plus lower perspective makes things look massively high. So still feels like it got more upward pop on the top one, but it's just hard to tell because the angles don't match at all. But yeah, that's the video I was talking about. Thank you very much for sending that. Yeah, the hang time's so similar. Boogie Van's coming back. You're right, Alex. So that's funny. His picture doesn't look like him in the thumbnail to me because I've met him at some of the shows. Huh. Had to give his ticket away to he's going to Beat the Creek. That's funny. Well, good on you. Furetex got you going. That's awesome. Well, cool. It's been longer than I meant to. Not feeling well. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I got some more videos to edit and upload. I've got a bash that I'd done with the Red Cat Kaiju from last week. And then also I have the other video from crawling, which, I downloaded that. Let me just see. I was going to show and talk about, let's see if I can just upload this video file. One of these. All right, let's do that one. Let's see what happens. How long does it take?
Yeah, now it's warming up.
Away. So that's my Ecto. So it's running an Ecto body on it that was painted, custom painted. Oh, I know. It was Bitchin' Bodies on Instagram that painted it. That's where that came from. And then I was running the Rock Pirates rear, what else do I have? Spec RC wheels, scale metal supplies for the servo mount and the upper link riser in the rear. And it's also a truss. So, but also have the shock key or whatever, shock towers by Rock Pirates on the rear. But those Spec RC wheels, the video doesn't do them justice. Those things look absolutely killer in person. So, but this is the trails that we're going to be running this weekend, the Sugar Bush trails at Walter RC Park, 9:00. It's $10 to run. You can run until all day, like gets you in. See, I was the only one that got stuck. Needed to bump it. And I was already stuck before we realized the problem. But it flexes really great. It but not too much, as we talked about earlier, where it wants to roll or anything like that. So those megalithics just hook up like just nothing I've driven before. They're awesome. But other than that, it's upgraded electronics. Still running the plastic rear links, and does have some brass, and it's heavily overdriven. It's got the aftermarket. I don't remember, is it SSD or somebody, but they make the internal element overdrive gears that are higher than the ones that come in the kit, 25% or 20 some percent, 28% anyway. I do not run 1/10 scramblers yet, Brian, yet. Renty? Seal out. Oh yeah, Dan did jump that 747. That was pretty big. But a 747 is not super tall. It was super long though. Oh, he got some height. Let's see here. I mean, he's well above it. It was a long jump, that's for sure. Height's pretty high though too. That's just insane. Like from this angle though, it doesn't seem, it's hard to say. But he didn't land on a pod, which, so he's going straight to the ground. So that's different too. He bounced really hard when he landed. But I can't believe he controlled it out. Yeah, it'd be tough to say who was higher, again, based on angles and all that. Somebody'd have to figure it out. But yeah, I totally remember that. That was iconic. Super iconic jump. Yeah, the tech in the video, like, so the seat harnessing, especially, like, however, it was a longer jump, so the impact was more, it felt a little more forward momentum. The one that Bryce Kenny just did was so, like, the impact seemed like it, I don't know, it was more downward force, looked or appeared, just again from a non-scientific eye, just watching videos online. But either way, all of them are just insane. And I think it's cool that people push the boundaries like that. I don't want to do it, but I love to see that other people do. But yeah, I'm hoping that some people go huge for, and it's different too, because they do the high jumps for Monster Jam as well, but the landings are set different. So you're coming up and you're trying to land down. It's different type of hit as far as speed too, a lot of different things, but it's super fun to watch them jump those things. Anyway, thanks for tuning in as always, you guys. Have fun RCing. We'll catch you next time.